What the is happening with this real estate market? Stay tuned and I'll let you know exactly what to think. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman, where we love to discuss Washington, D.C., business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman and I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, D.C. with the Jason Martin Group. Quick favor, if you learned something new today, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets me know that what I'm doing is good use of time. And also, if you really enjoy what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button so you get alerted each week when I release new videos. If it looks like I'm tired right now, it's because I am. This market is crazy, and it's crazy for different reasons. You have two markets happening. You have the housing market and you have the condo market. If you're in the housing market, good for you if you're a seller. It seems like everyone wants what you have. If you have a condo, well, in the selling world, it's not as great because people are trying to find all of those houses. If you're a buyer, if you're looking for houses, that's dramatic. It's hard. You're gonna be going against a lot of competition. If you're a buyer looking for a condo, there's less competition. There's less people running at that. And that makes sense. All of that makes sense, right? We're living in a COVID world where having space in your house and around your house and outdoor space is at a premium. We are seeing a significant shortage of inventory. There's a graph in front of you right now. Look at the 2019 graph of like where the inventory was. Then look at the line of where 2020 was. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there's the line for 2021. It's all the way down there. What this means is we don't have much inventory right now. This graphic right here is for our MLS overall. So it's a pretty big geographic area of like DC, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania. It's a wide range. If I was to show you the DC graphic, it would actually look a little bit more in line with years past, but that's not telling the full story. Because the full story is you have to look at how you break this up into condos and houses. For houses, it matches that graphic we just saw. For condos, it's going to be actually above that. It's going to feel like there's more inventory than we've seen in years past. So why is inventory so low? Well, first of all, interest rates are so low. And interest rates being low does two things. One, people have refinanced and their houses that they're in are insanely cheap compared to what they're used to. So why would you move out of something insanely cheap? Also, tons of buyers looking to capture that cheap money, so there's less inventory for everybody else. So you have less houses, more buyers. There you go. Number two is people bought really low and they don't really want to sell. They're good investments. One day they'll be able to pull the cash register, but they can rent them out and they can cover their costs and they can hold on to them, and it's a long-term asset. So people don't really want to let go of those because they see it as such a good kind of retirement fund or another option. Number three is underbuilding of construction, and the building of new homes is way down nationally. This is still kind of a hangover from the last housing market crash. I feel like people don't want to get too ahead of themselves and start building stuff if they're afraid that the market might pull back. And so it's been a little bit slower to get things moving along, and therefore there's less new houses available for people. Speaking of more people, millennials. You are officially in the game. You pretty much are the game for first-time home buyers looking to get properties right now. You are the largest generation. And not only the largest generation, you seem to value home ownership very much. So we have a lot of people looking to get their first home. All right, number five is the lack of foreclosures. We, because of the CARES Act, are not really seeing much of any foreclosures. Foreclosures are kind of put on a pause until we get this whole like pandemic thing figured out. In the meantime, people are going to maintain in their homes even if they're not paying their mortgage payments. Once the CARES Act ends, we could see a differentiation there. However, we've seen the number of people that are past due on their mortgage payments going down. People are coming back and paying in full. So the percentage of people that are actually behind on their mortgage payments is hovering just below 6% at this point, which is far lower than people were expecting for us to be at this time. All right, so how is this going to change? And I think that there's three ways that this could change. So for supply and changes in that, I just don't see that something like that happening. It's just not really in the realm of what we're seeing right now, especially for single family homes. We're seeing actually the price of lumber go up, meaning the cost of homes is going up. and they're building slower. So as we're trying to get more supply out there, it's just not to be seen. All right, so if supply can't change, then we're gonna have to see something happen with demand. And I see this kind of panning out in one of two ways. First of which is interest rates. If interest rates are going to start going up, and we have seen them go up a little bit here in the last little bit, then that could start impacting demand. Because if you can afford less, you're less likely to push the budget. People that are throwing cash at places trying to get it, they're gonna have less cash to do that with. So that's one thing I think could impact this is if you get rid of that frenzy of interest rates, maybe that starts to slow stuff down. The second piece is buyer fatigue. Listen, there's only so many times a buyer can try to pay way over list price, no contingencies, before they're gonna take a break. And I get it. I've been there myself. And that's what we're going to start seeing, and we're seeing it with some of our own buyers now. So you're not alone in that front. If you wanna figure out a way where it's less busy, go check out our video on finding off-market properties. That can be helpful because if you don't have to compete, that can make your life a little bit easier. All right, so another option is we could see a little wave of foreclosures come out. I don't think this is gonna be the case. I think that we will eventually roll back the CARES Act, and once we roll back the CARES Act, there will be an impact. I don't know if that's really gonna be in the DC market. It feels like if someone really wanted to sell their place right now, especially a single family home, and get out before they got foreclosed on, they should have an opportunity. If this is an issue that you're facing, go ahead and reach out to us. We don't want to see that happen to you, and we can kind of walk through what your options are. Because if you can get out and put money in your own pocket as opposed to turning your property over to the bank, that's much preferred. All right, so a couple quick bold predictions for what I think is going to happen to this year. Once things start to normalize, I'm talking shots in arms, restaurants and bars start to open up, businesses start to open their doors again, the proximity to the city is gonna matter again. People aren't gonna wanna deal with traffic, and people love being around that city life. So I think that there's gonna be a resurgence of people coming back in. I think the condo market will start to pick itself up. I think the single family homes market is gonna remain pretty strapped for inventory, and I just don't see that changing this year. So if you're going to be buying a single family home, make sure you get with a good agent that knows the market and knows how to get you into a place. Because everything that's priced right and looking well is gonna look to be kind of competitive, and you're gonna need some good people on your side to help make that happen. All right, that's what I had on the plan for today. What did I miss? What kind of questions do you have? Go ahead and put them in the comments below, because I can use those for future videos to help inform you and your peers and your neighbors and everybody else about what's going on. And that's why I love my Coffee with Colemans, because they're fun, informative, and I hope you find them helpful too. So thanks for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.